What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Gucci Hot 3 long face skinny body, and we are back, still black of course, with some more fire Boruto manga related content. Now before we get into the video, you already know the dealio. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, share the video with your friends, and let's get to the business, my guy. Yes, Sirski.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. 1 chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
Okay, so I understand that I took a hiatus, a little break, whatever you want to call it, for like close to a month, more like 3 weeks if you want to be technical, in the summer, like around June time, right? You know what I'm saying? Around that time, June, July. I can't really pinpoint it right now. Point is, it's not my first time around the rodeo, not my first time around the block where I'm like, all right, summertime, slow down, pick it back up. I'm not crazy to say to act like I don't realize the expeditiously dip in numbers that the channel is seeing. Like, I don't know. First of all, I'm still growing. So that's what's even more confusing. It's like my sub count is getting bigger as my views are getting smaller. And shit just don't sit right with me. I don't even know if I'm gonna, just the way things is looking now, I doubt I'm gonna take a break next summer. It looks like I can't afford to take any breaks, because if I take a break, I'm gonna fall off before I even get to where I need to go. It's crazy. How do you fall off before you even get to where you need to be? Like, that's literally what's happening. Now, I got a great sense of humor, which is why I'm laughing about it, but it's still like the fact of the matter, bro. It's cool, because I'm gonna just have to grind again for the bottom, pause, which is what it's looking like. But the numbers, the viewership is just, in the words of the famous Young Thug, man, watch out. Man, y'all got me fucked up, twin, man. Y'all got me fucked up, twin. Summer, usually when I come back from the break, my shit be jumping. So that's something I noticed, right? But I ain't gonna trip about it, because I'm on my way back. I'm returning to the peak numbers that the channel was on its way to surpassing. And speaking about GOATs returning, my guy Naruto, right? Have you heard? You know what I'm saying? His name's been ringing bells since he was 12 years old. And my guy, Big Uzumaki Naruto, made the Uzumaki clan. I ain't gonna say famous all on his own, but hey, man, it was just one day in the lonely world of history where niggas was knowing the Uzumaki for the Uzumaki and the sales they were doing back in the day. But then all of a sudden, the Orange Hokage came and started stepping and pepping. Bro, you feel me? He done integrated with the Hyuga clan. Now the famous Uzumaki clan also has the Kekkei Genkai of the motherfucking Byakugan. This nigga's out here changing the course of history. Big Naruto. Uzumaki, the return of the GOATs in the story of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. That's what we talking about in today's video, because my guy is bound to come back. Now, whether it be by the end of the series, the middle, closer towards the closing points, who knows? But he's bound to come back. But the main point of this video is the fact that I think the focal point is shifting back to my guy Naruto. Like, infamously, right? The terminology used in the Spider-Verse, right? For those of y'all who are MCU fans, it's like, we want some street level villains, right? We want some street level problems. We want some village level problems. We've been dealing with aliens. We've been dealing with Otsutsuki. We've been dealing with divine trees and Shinju and all of these crazy extraterrestrial things. It's like, let's get some street level shit back into the mix. We want to see the Punisher. We want to see Savage Hulk. We want to see cars flipping and buildings exploding. And you know, the spaceship flying out of the cosmos and blast blowing craters into different planets is cool, but sometimes a nigga like to be grounded and reminded where he came from. And I believe that this is what 2 Blue Vortex is doing, because if you really, really think about it, end of Naruto Next Generations, beginning of 2 Blue Vortex, one of the main emphasis of issues, the main emphasis of antagonistic problems standing in our MC Boruto way was the route that this guy Kawaki decided to take. The fact that Boruto is now labeled a villain. The fact that he is the most wanted #1 criminal in the world for killing the most wanted and #1 hero in the world, aka Naruto Uzumaki. The fact that the ninja world itself should be in shambles, and the Hidden Leaf Village, as confirmed by the elders, are trying their best to keep everything under control, and show face to the other four villages that they have everything in their hands, and it's under control despite the death of Naruto Uzumaki, the perceived death of Naruto, and the vacancy of the quote-unquote 8th Hokage's position, right? So we understand in chapter 25, my guy Shikamaru was called into the hot seat. They tried to brush it over, but I think we're shifting back because we've been dealing heavily, especially since Boruto got captured back in the Hidden Leaf Village, heavily focusing on Jura and the Shinju, the developments, their philosophical nature in the terms of how they evolve, right? As an entity, evolve, whether it be good, bad, for the betterment, or for the destruction of the human race. The main point is about evolving, and then Jura trying to figure out what love actually plays, what role that it plays in the evolution of humankind and potentially the evolution of Shinju themselves, right? But we kind of have been watering down the whole entire idea that, oh snap, Boruto is wanted by literally every single person in the world, not just the Shinju, right? It's just a matter of the enemy of my enemy is a friend. So in the Hidden Leaf eyes, not even in their eyes, everybody knows it, they can't take down these monsters by themselves. They're gonna need an ally and the help and the support of someone like Boruto Uzumaki on their side. But once the fires die down and the quarrels start to quell, then we start to realize and understand, oh shit, Boruto still is public enemy number one, technically, when you think about it, right? He's been chilling in the village, at least for the most part. We can understand he's been hiding or masking his chakra signature, but we still have to have an understanding of Kawaki's stance. Does he let the villagers know, hey, I have this alliance with Boruto? What is the main basis of this meeting that Shikamaru is about to attend to? And I believe the fact lies around Boruto and his current positioning. Not only that, but the fact that prior to this mission, Shikamaru has been showing signs of having information and intel that not necessarily he should be query to, and things are just not necessarily adding up unless you take into account Shikamaru is possibly working behind the back of the village or having to undergo things that he can't necessarily do in the public. As we see with the conversation he's had with Ino in the past, she's questioning why is he willing to go to such lengths just to defend this guy Boruto. But we know the truth, right? It's just that the truth is yet to be revealed. And I believe that this next arc, prior to getting, because I know my guy Mamushi is bound to come, and this whole entire conflict between Mamushi, Ada, and Damon is going to be surfacing up very soon. But before we get to that, I believe that the story in Ikimoto is going to take us back into the initial problem that will gradually be solved throughout the story, as opposed to certain issues that need to be attacked and addressed fully head on as they occur. But in this current situation, more and more people, because it's already started to have trinkets with Boruto just saying like, oh, Naruto's alive, Hinata is fine, don't worry about them. They're not going to take the word of a traitor. But then once we have Kawaki confirming himself, understanding the recordings behind his eyes, understanding that figures like Amato and Sumire have now heard the truth from Kawaki's mouth, and then outside third parties like Shinju and Jura are asking for Naruto and confirming for Naruto's well-being and existence right now. So even if people still have no evident proof that Naruto is alive, it's the fact that this topic is being brought up after so long will have so many people scratching their heads and asking questions. Well, what actually happened to Naruto? Why are so many people saying Naruto's alive when it's been confirmed for the last 3 years that my guy Naruto has been dead, right? And I believe this meeting with Shikamaru might be one of the leading factors in that regard, because they're going to emphasize the fact that why isn't Boruto dead? Why are we willing to work with him? Regardless of the results of these missions. And I believe they might even take into account the evolution of powers like Himawari and Sarada as, precursors in terms of, well, we have Shinobi on our side growing, and now we see that Kawaki all of a sudden have this extra mental power. We know that all of that isn't going to just be enough with Kawaki, Sarada, and Himawari, but in their eyes, we have these three heavy hitters right now, and all three of them just awaken new power. So no, we don't need Boruto, right? It might be even more pressure on Shikamaru to emphasize and ensure that the next time Boruto comes into contact with any Hidden Leaf personnel, they will be taking him into custody and then ensuring his execution will be undergoing right away. So it's going to be a lot of questions to go into that regard, and I believe Naruto's name being brought up in the midst of this and the current status of Boruto being public enemy number one are two of the main focuses that are going to be drifting his way back into the story right before we go back off into the Shinju arc and finish off that side of the storyline. We still have to deal with the fact that the main hope The main light, the main ray of faith in the ninja world being in Naruto Uzumaki was quote unquote killed by this guy Boruto. And it's not more so the fact of proving that he is Naruto's son, but the well-being of Naruto himself, the potential return of Naruto himself. Is it possible that Hinata and Naruto return at different times? There's gonna have to be something that goes down in the midst of all of this that allows Boruto to freely walk without having to constantly worry about the village being after him. Not to say that the personal opinion and the choices of the mind are changed. People might still walk around looking at Boruto as how they viewed Sasuke and as how they viewed Kawaki in part 1. Like, why do we even let this monster walk around with us? Why are we even letting this guy walk free? He should be locked up. He's a criminal. He should be in chains, right? So he's going to have to undergo those type of scrutinies while still being under the watchful eye of the elders. I don't think that's too far-fetched, but they still have to figure out a way to get there. And the only way to get there is not just saying just Naruto is going to be coming back, but a very, very strong verbal confirmation that Naruto is alive and well. But then that will also turn the tides, because then it's throwing not just people like Shikamaru in the hot seat and his potential alliance with Boruto, right? But people like Kawaki. Well, then what's been going on these last 3 years? Have you really been the one to seal Naruto? Why would you hide your own father? We have to remember, Naruto and Hinata being sealed away has nothing to do with omnipotence. The only thing that has to do with omnipotence is the lives of Boruto and Kawaki being swapped. Kawaki saw this, took advantage of the opportunity, and decided to have Ada announce the entire village. Naruto has just died by the hands of Boruto. They have no choice but to believe what they've been told, and the fact that Naruto has been nowhere to be found within the last 3 years, and not necessarily every time you need a body to confirm death within this world, they had no choice but to ride with the idea. But now that everything has been died down and we're starting to get a little bit more results in terms of the current predicament with the Shinju, it's going to be allow more space for growth in terms of the development of the relationship with Boruto and the rest of the ninja world, whether it starts to ease up or tensions start to get even more tighter, and Boruto has to keep his head on an even tighter swivel to keep watch and make sure anything and everything is still going according to plan. But it's going to be interesting because I still believe that Naruto's emphasis, Naruto's return, because he's such a major player and a major figurehead in the ninja world, that we're going to have some grounded opportunity and grounded moments around the village, especially in the midst of all of this chaos, right? The Hidden Sand Village has just got its top fighter, back on D&D. Its leader in the Kage, Ngara, is on bed rest. So a whole lot of things have been going around in that regard. So they understand the main predicament, the situation with Code. All of the villagers understand that they have claw marks of Code around, and all of the village are aware that the Hidden Leaf currently has Shikamaru playing a proxy Hokage, but they need him to fully take up the mantle to showcase a stance of strength and a stance of being the strongest village within the entire 5 Kage summit, within the entire 5 village alliance of the 5 great nations. But there's still going to be a whole lot more to dissect and look forward, because like I said, Naruto's full-on return in terms of a physical presence isn't going to be happening anytime soon. At least that's what I think. But the focal point of Naruto's disappearance and possible, status of being alive and well will be something that drives the next couple of, chapters moving forward, and to see how we're going to really place Boruto in terms of his alliance with the village moving forward. Because we can't just act like, okay, they're dealing with the Shinju, they're dealing with the divine trees, everybody's just going to act like Boruto. They don't hate Boruto, act like Naruto ain't been dead the last 3 years. Like, they're still going to harbor these feelings, and it might be annoying to some of us, but it's still a type of approach and this type of problem, I would say, that we still have to approach within the story. And I believe this is a great way to use this as a transitioning period into the next Shinju arc, into the next arc where we see figures like Mamushi and figures like Damon going at it head on. And prior to us getting that, we're going to have to see some internal conflict with Kawaki, Boruto, the villages, and the welfare and the current state of panic of Naruto's quote-unquote death, and the possibility of Naruto being quote-unquote alive, and how that all plays into account. It's your boy Black Uchiha 3. Let me know how y'all feel about it. And don't forget what I said. You know what I'm saying? The GOAT is coming back sometime soon. What am I talking about? Naruto, or am I talking about Black Uchiha? Who knows? But until my next video, holla at your boy. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Naruto's possible return in Boruto 2 Vortex. Until my next video, holla at your boy. I'm going to holla at y'all. Black Uchiha out. Yes, sir. Ski!